In this video, we're going to cover a great new editing tool that gives Joomla the possibility to actually build with blocks. It's called Page Builder CK, and we're going to take a very quick look at it right now, show you what it can do. Let me go back into the Joomla admin system, and when you create a new article, you can use the Page Builder in various different places, in modules and all kinds of different places. We're just going to show you how to do it in an article real quick. When you first have it open a new article, you'll see this switch to Page Builder CK. You can do that, or you can use the Page Builder button down here. Page Builder allows you to save pages, and you can do that and pull them up later using this. But for the most part, you're just going to use this right here and switch to Page Builder. And it'll say that, are you sure? And it gives you this notice that it's going to replace your existing editor, and you can only edit this page with the Page Builder. So make sure you're ready to do that. And once you do that, it's done. You can't go back and use the standard editor. But if you're building a page with Page Builder, that should be all you want. You can just delete it if you don't like the page. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And when you first click that button, then the page will change a little bit like this. You'll see this new editing toolbar on the left side. And we'll show you a little bit about how that works. First of all, the most important thing here is this bar right here that will allow you to adjust the row that you're working on. Everything is done in rows. So you can remove the row. You can enter columns in the row. You can reposition the row. You can edit the styles. You can get design suggestions from the system, or you can duplicate the row. You can also add just a blank new row below that. So we're going to get started by adding a few things to this first one, and we're going to take a minute to look at a few of these. We're going to do an icon and text first. So you just drag whatever you want from the left side and put it on the right side. It'll come up with a default layout. Then you just go in and click on the Edit Item button. And then you can see what this is. It's an icon and text, so you have the option to pick several icons. These are familiar types of icons. You can limit them down. Let's see, let's find something. How about a medical icon? Let's do a heart. Okay. You can also change the color of the icon. So in this case, let's make it red. Okay, and let's make the icon a little bit bigger actually. Let's change the icon. Let's go with the medical, but let's do the heartbeat one. Much better. Okay, so that's that. We've changed that. We're going to change the title. Make us, this is our heartbeat. We do that. So you can see as you go along, the preview down here is actually a live preview as soon as you enter it in. And it pretty much shows what you got. It's a little bit different when you get into columns. It'll look obviously different, but there you go. So there you have that. You can change that a little bit. Let's say we want that to be 48. Make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it bold. There we go. You can do font here, different fonts. You can use Google Fonts. Of course, it's better just to stay with the standard, what you've got in the template. So just to make it easy, you can switch now and you can edit the text that appears below the headline. This pulls up the standard text editor that you've got defined within Joomla. So whatever you're using, it does that. The next thing is the block. Now you might not have noticed it here. It's not quite as obvious here that this gray area, the block background for the whole area, actually you can control that. So you can have a gradation here. So we're going to do that. Let's go down and pick a gray that's just a little bit lighter than what's there. You can see it in the background of the selector here. So that's actually go darker. So we'll click OK. And you can see it has a gradation here. Let's make this a little bit lighter. There, so you can see what we're doing here. So we're going to actually, let's move it, let's make it all the way white so it does a full gradation in. Okay, so we're going to do that. Then the other thing you can do, you can have all kinds of settings with background images. You can set how that works. Let's go down to the formatting. We don't need any borders or margins, so let's do that. But let's say we want to make the top, actually it looks usually, let's say, no, not great design, but let's make the bottom 20 and 20. So you can see you can make the bottom corners rounded. So you can do all that. There's shadow, there's all kinds of stuff you can add on that. We're not going to go into that, but most of the stuff you can do is right there. Make sure when you're done with anything, any of these blocks, you need to make sure you validate it. That's basically how it gets saved. So there is our new block that we just added. So now we're going to add a few other things. Now, first of all, the next thing is you don't need to add a new row for every block. You can keep it. It just needs to have a new row when you're maybe changing columns into number of columns. So we're going to add another text block, a text block right here. And this is not necessarily great design. We're just showing examples of stuff. So, and this works similar to the other where we're editing the design. You can then go over here and you can go down to your formatting, and in this case we do need some padding, so we're going to put 20 all around. I'm not going to do anything else. We'll just do that and say validate that, and there we go. So we have that. Another nice little thing you can add in is a little separator, so let's do that. Nice little thing, especially if you're doing newsletters or something like that. Let's select it. And let's change the icon here. We'll go to some medical icon again, say that's our logo icon or something. We're going to do that. We're going to leave the size, but actually let's go about like that. We're going to get rid of the text because we really don't want a text in this divider. I'm just going to go with the icon. And we'll put the icon in the middle position. It just looks better there. And then we'll go ahead and validate that. And you can see it puts the nice little divider in there. Now we're going to do something with some multiple columns, so we need to add a new row. So we click on the blue icon to add a new row. We're going to go in here and we're going to make 2 columns. And we're going to change the column width here because we want to put, we're going to put 2 things in, but we really don't need, let's see, let's make it that big. You can play around with that however you want, but we're going to put, let's just put a straight icon over here. And then let's put some text over on this side of the icon. So you can see it puts in the default stuff, so you just have to go in and edit all the different things. We're going to go in here, select a different icon. We'll stay with our medical theme. Let's go with the med kit. Let's make it big. Okay. Let's change the color of that one. Let's make it blue. And then we'll validate it. Okay, and we're just going to leave that text there. Now there's few other things here. You can use a message box. Now again, now we need to actually change this because we need to change back to a single column, so we need to put in the new row in there. So we'll put our message box in. Again, it's a standard message box. I'm not going to go into the detail on that and change that. Let's add another one, another row. We're going to change the columns here. We're going to add them. We'll leave them even, and we're going to show they have option for horizontal tabs and an accordion feature. Let's go. Let's look at the tabs. And we just edit it, and we'll go into, call it tab 1. So we're going to change the tab names here to just make them really creative. Tab 1, 2, and 3. You can change them however you want. Then you can edit your text in there. You can see as you change it, the live preview down here, you can add new items if you need more tabs. Again, it opens up your content editor. You can actually put in images in here using your standard editor. You don't have the editor built. You can't actually put it within each other. So let's go down here. Actually, let's go down to parks here. Let's pick one here. There, we'll put the landscape in. And we're using JCE editor here, so you can, that's what this interface is. Let's make it go to the left. And we'll put some margin on the right side and the bottom, so it's not right tied up against it. Yeah, grab the wrong one. Cancel. I didn't grab the image before I tried to edit that. So I need to do that. There, now we go into that. And we're going to put, now we'll put the position on there and there. And we update it there. And, sorry, do that again. And we do it left there. So we have our text drop around there. We're going to leave all the other content the way it is. You notice it does not preview there down there. The preview doesn't change. And that's just part of this editor. However, when you validate it, you can see that it does show up over here. So, okay, now let's go over in the sections work about the same thing. The accordions, you just go in and change it. So we're going to leave it as is with the accordions. And there's another one we want to do, and we're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to do a layout with columns again. And we're going to change that to, we want a very narrow column over here on the right. We're going to insert a text block on this right side. Again, this is not good design. Don't use this as design samples, but we're just throwing things on the page for now, just to show you what you can do and how easy it is. So we're going to throw a video in, so we're going to do that. Click on Edit. All we have to do is go over and grab our URL from YouTube or wherever. Right tab here. Put that in there. Use a 16 by 9. Let it go to 100%. We're going to not autoplay it. And then we're going to validate it. So there we have a video. So just so you can see where we're at so far, let's just save that and let's go look at what it looks like on the front side, so you can get an idea of that. So we're going to go over here, and here's our sample page, and this is what it looks like on the front beat, so the front page, so front side that is. So there we have our icons, our divider, our icon there, our message text. There's our tabs. So you can see, you can show all the tabs and adjust the height to fit the tab content. Moves everything around. There's our accordions. Like I said, not the greatest design, but you can see what you can do. There's our video. It plays the video right in the page. Standard playbacks come from YouTube. So let's go back over and show you just one more cool thing, another cool layout that you can do. This is not all of the layouts that are possible with it either. Just some of these ones. We're going to do, you're not limited to 2 columns. You can actually have multiple columns, so we're going to do that. We're going to do some images in there first. And this is, we're actually going to build something complex, and I found that it's easier to do it by dropping your images in for this type of layout. So this is kind of just very unique. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here and we're going to edit the image. We're going to select an image that's already up there. We're going to use some of the sample data from Joomla. You can drag and drop or your own images or use something that's already uploaded. So we're just going to leave it like that. We're going to validate that one. We're going to click on that, add a new image. Let's find another one. Okay, we're going to fruit shop. Let's go with the apples. Insert that. And then we're going to insert one more. Select sample data. And we're going to do this one right here. Okay, so we'll validate that. So they're all in there. And again, of course, you'd probably want to resize them before you start. These are already optimized, but don't put huge files in there. We're going to do something else. We're going to do an icon and a text above these. each of these. Like I said, we're doing something just a little bit unique with these. So show you what kind of complex layouts you can create. So what we're going to do there, and then we're going to put a text block below each of these. Okay, so now we're going to add the block above. I'm going to go right to the block. Put the background. Let's go with, we've got some greens going on there, so let's pick green for that. We're going to use that across all of them. So we'll grab that color. Okay. We're going to make the text within this white so it looks a little bit better on there. And we'll make it bold. So that applies to all the text within the block. Shouldn't need anything there, so we're going to make the top right 10, top left 10. So you can see that'll round off those top corners. We're not going to use anything else. So I'm going to do that. So you can see that, that's what they had that. And I'm going to do that to this other one, so I'll show you what I'm doing next. So I'll jump ahead. So there I've just applied the same style to all the other two. So now I'm going to down to these ones at the bottom. Actually, we're going to change this here. We're going to go in and change the layout for this. And we're going to go into the styles because we're not going to mess with the text. But we're going to make with the background. We're going to make that start with that. So that's the color we had before. And we're going to go down to one of the bottom one. I'm going to start with that color. But I'm going to go and I'm going to make it go down to the light green at the end. And I'm going to use that light green, so we'll do that as a gradation. And we're going to go down and change the text again to white, which may not look all that good, but we're just going to leave it for right now so you can see what it goes on. We do need to add some padding to this, so 20, 20, 20, 20, which gives us plenty of space. Borders, we're going to round off the bottom two. And that's what we're going to leave it at. So that's what we got. We've got this box that looks like it's somewhat joined together. Not the greatest design, but shows you a little bit of what you can do. So I'm going to apply that to the other two, and then I'll show you how it looks in the front end. So now you can see I formatted them similarly. Of course, you'd want to adjust the pictures because that doesn't look that good, but let's go ahead and save that, and you can then see what it looks like on the front end. We've added those 3 columns at the bottom. So here we go. Let's refresh the page now, and you should be able to see that. We've added that down below. It looks like we probably should have done some more formatting, but you can see what you can do. You can add some, we probably need to add some space there. But you can do all that, and this is just a sample of what you can do with the Page Builder CK. It is really handy for when you need to do more design intense layouts that this would take forever if you just had to build your own divs and columns in a standard Joomla editor. So there's a really nice editor that's easy to work with. There are several different things you can add. You can see a bunch on the other side here. It has a text block icon and text. We've used those. We've used a single image, the separator, the blue message box that we put in there a little bit lower. There it is. It has horizontal tabs and accordion. What we didn't show was the module. You can put a module right in, so you can fit that within your content. And we showed the video player and the audio player. In addition, what we don't have here is you can purchase an extended edition that gives you this images slider, Google Maps block, a testimonials block that shows testimonials in a cool layout, and animated number that you can do that with. And it also allows you to do some cool different things with your images. You could use these together with some of the other CK extensions with Media Box and some effects CK, and do all kinds of cool things on that. So those are just some of the things. So there's a new editor extension that you can add to Joomla that really increases the look and the way you can set up the page and do some really nice layouts.